Hello, it is 5 a.m. in Washington. It's 10 a.m. in London, noon in Cairo. I'm Monita Rajpal. You're watching World One live from London. Also ahead, a firm in Tahrir Square. We're heading straight to Cairo now, where anti-government protests have spilled into a third week. The scene now is perhaps more like a mass sit-in. Let's get more on that and the situation in Cairo with CNN's Arwa Damon. She joins us now live. Arwa, let's talk a little bit about how important it is for the demonstrators to keep this momentum up and also for the world's attention to stay on Egypt at this point. Arwa was just reporting it's relatively calm there right now, but it's only a few days since the same streets were scarred by violence. Just ahead, we'll hear from the women whose camera captured the moment a man was killed in the street. Our senior international correspondent Nick Robertson brings us that incredible story. Nearly 1 million people in Sri Lanka have been forced out of their homes by floods in the north and east of the island. Rescue teams are airlifting people to safety, and more than 500 welfare camps. A Chechen rebel leader has claimed responsibility for a suicide bomb attack on Moscow's main international airport. Doku Umorov said he was behind last month's blast. Matthew Chance joins us now live from the capital there. And Matthew, has there been any response from the Kremlin to this message? What kind of a position does this put then the Russian government and the security services, and in terms of what kind of vulnerabilities do the Russians face at this point? In Moscow, thank you very much for that. Let's switch gears now and take a look at what's happening in the world of sport. Alex Thomas is here to tell us about an unwanted record.
That's right. We're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA. And they've rewritten the basketball history books, but not in the way they would have liked, Monita. Hello to you out there. On Monday night, another record successful season for the Packers next year. There we are, the highs and lows of sport.
The low is pretty harsh.
Pretty harsh.
Cleveland. I won't say what our supervisor, how they describe it, but it's not harsh. I mean, it's not good. Thank you very much, Alex. This is World One, live from London. Back in court, the fate of WikiLeaks founder is hanging in the balance. We'll bring you the latest from the court. The founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, is now back in a British court fighting a bid to extradite him to Sweden. He arrived at court just a short time ago with his legal team as the hearing enters its second day. Swedish authorities want him for questioning in connection with sexual misconduct allegations. Here with Atika Schubert now at Belmarsh Magistrates Court in southeast London. Atika, what is expected to happen today?
Well, second day of the hearing, of course, and we're likely to see some more witnesses being brought up to support the argument that's being made by Assange's lawyers. And basically, their argument hinges on a number of key points. One of them...
Schubert in London, thank you. You're watching World One live from London, the final moments of an Egyptian protester caught on camera. We take you to Cairo to find out as protesters continue to speak out against the government. Many are concerned it is still a dangerous time for them. Here is a professor of Middle Eastern Studies at Johns Hopkins University in the U.S. speaking to CNN's Anderson Cooper. Officials from North and South Korea are holding their first talk since the North shelled a South Korean island in November. The incident killed 4 people, rapidly raising tensions in the region. We want to take a look now at the different views that world newspapers are taking on the Koreas. In the Philippines, the Manila Times headline is, "Koreas meet today to ease high tensions, but will North Korea be sincere?" Below that it says, after their respective superpower patrons. Now in the United Kingdom, the Daily Telegraph here, the headline says, North and South Korea start military-level talks. It says analysts have cautioned against expecting too much from the dialogue, as Seoul and Washington have pledged not to enter into substantive negotiations. And finally, to Australia, the Sydney Morning Herald there, the headline here is saying 2 Koreas hold first talks since island attack. It says while Tuesday's talks were expected to focus mainly on procedural matters, the South sees it as a chance to test World One live from London. She's bold, she's brave, and she's got a handbag. What's trending on social media right now? At number 3, UK Prime Minister David Cameron is coming under pressure from American senators to call an independent inquiry into the release of the Lockerbie bomber. Yesterday, a review concluded that the previous government of Gordon Brown did all it could to obtain the release of Abdelbaset al-Megrahi. Al-Megrahi was released on compassionate grounds in 2009 by a decision of the Scottish government. At number 2, John Paul Getty III, the heir to a huge oil fortune, has died at the age of 54. It made international headlines when he was kidnapped as a 16-year-old and had his ear cut off by the kidnappers after his oil tycoon grandfather refused to pay the ransom. At 24, he suffered a stroke caused by drug use and needed intense medical care for the rest of his life. And then at number 1, this gentleman, Jules Verne. If you log on to Google today, it looks like you're 20,000 leagues under the sea. They've changed their front page to mark the 183rd birthday of writer Jules Verne. The Frenchman was the author of several well-loved novels, including Around the World in 80 Days. And you can read more of those top stories. We're going to get you more now on the devastating floods in Sri Lanka. More than 1 million people have been affected. Let's go to our meteorologist, Jennifer Delgado, who's following the developments for us from there. Jen, what are you seeing?
Hi, Monita. That's right. 1.2 million people have been affected by it. You can't get rain where you need it. And, of course, it always comes down where you don't want it.
Yeah, Jen, all right. Thank you very much for that. Still to come. Before we go, we want to bring you the very latest from Cairo. Here's the scene today. It looks perhaps more like a mass sit-in. I'm Monita Rajpal. Thank you for joining us.